Oh man. Oh man. Nora is promising now another apocalypse. Apparently after satisfying herself with how many render videos? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm just gonna start off noting the initial hypocrisy that she promised. Guys, my channel's not about the drama. Oh no, it's about the educations. I'm an educator. I educate. Okay, alrighty. Listen, I don't like Nora, but I've always defended her free speech rights. But boy, she really keeps pushing it to the edge. And I think I frankly know what this one will be about, but I will be patient and through it and try to give a good summation. And now people might be saying, well, aren't you kind of doing the same thing? Aren't we really stretching out this subject matter? And I agree. And listen, just to be fair, unless my computer has a total meltdown, and by the way, that has happened. I've just had many issues with the equipment, many recent health issues. Again, I don't want to panic people, but it's not been going well recently. So some of my family has gotten into some major issues. One of them was just like, really? Really? Yeah, it's been out there. Nevertheless, there is something more going on in this commentary. Okay, so let me just note a recent attack, just to be fair to her.
Got hired and fired a lot. No, it couldn't be.
And by the way, I thought this whole thing was actually pretty obscene and grotesque on many levels. But basically, Liz Gale made this really long roll. And it gets even more dumb the way you think about it. Basically, that the children of Scientology have really suffered. Now, you know one such child? Michael Rinder. You know another child? Claire Headley. You go through the list made no sense at all because you know who Nora is going to promise to put in the jail cell? Mike and Claire. So you're like, well, wait a minute. So Liz Gale puts up this stupid list. And by the way, where does Liz Gale get off? Like, I will list the real victims of science, and it is me. I mean, again, you do feel sorry for a lot of these people. They have suffered horribly, but some of these people are, like, their victimization is pretty weak. And yet their ego and entitlement is just off the charts. I mean, it's just, you would think that they all suffered from a genocide. They didn't. I mean, really, what's like Liz Gale's big problem? Like, I have not spoken with my daddy for about 5 years now. Most families, normal families, they don't speak for each other for a very long time. Nothing even happened. It's just like, no, we just lost touch. We don't talk really much. It's not insanely traumatic. The whole thing was dumb. But if you did think it was important, well, it's actually two things. One, yeah, Nora's just traipsing all over that thing. It's like, she doesn't care. She's like, yeah, whatever, here are the names. She's literally stepping on the names of these alleged holy victims. So she doesn't even believe her own propaganda. But here's an added thing. She promoted a Liz Gale video about this thing. You're like, what? And that's just Nora, right? 2 seconds, I cry for the children of Scientology. Oh, God. You're like, wait, isn't Rinder a child? Ah! He needs to go to jail. He needs to go to jail now. Okay, you're a child. Are you gonna? No! I'm innocent. I'm pure. I'm Nora. Right. 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 Well, I'll just say this. There is some major problems with Nora. Now, I'm not going to spill the tea here. I'm going to do something for the channel members because I got to make money too. But it's big. And you talk about receipts. This one is devastating. Now, to be fair, it's more someone close to Nora, but using the Nora logic, she would be guilty too. So, yeah, just wait out a little longer. It's going to be shocking. Okay, whatever. She's not a good person. She's very nasty. But I'm really puzzled where Claire Headley fits in all this. I mean, like Claire, you don't like Claire, critical of Claire, not critical of Claire. Again, she runs a public foundation. She has to expect a little criticism. I think that's fair. But putting her as this criminal mastermind, I don't know. It's just like, huh? And Nora, yes, Nora will be the one calling out Claire. Now, just a few weeks ago, pretty sure it was a few weeks ago, she was like, "Why doesn't Claire call me? Claire, I'm calling upon you. You're calling her a criminal and promising to put her in jail. Why would she have contact with you? Just from a rational perspective, like there was this weird exchange here with DOA, and there's not a doubt in my mind. Nora kept trying to get DOA to admit he committed some crimes to put him in jail. So that's the tone and angle of her conversation. She's going to try to get you to do a false confession to put you in jail. Okay, why would Claire try to get involved in all that? Why? Why? And where is her higher moral standard? Her most recent thing was being involved with Aaron's fake charity. Now, good or bad, the aftermath could be a flawed charity. I think it is. Many things to be critical of. That is fine. But it is a real charity. Aaron recently celebrated just now, like literally days and days ago. Oh gosh, we're a real charity now. Well, what were you for like 8 months? Not a real charity. But Nora took the money. She took Aaron's money, and Nora's mother took Aaron's money. No sense of shame here. No sense of shame at all. But now we're going to learn the real deep history of anti-Scientology and how it went astray. Well, again, I'm all for critical revisionism. That's just how history works. What I'm not here for is fake propaganda morality plays. I've already accused Nora of doing a lot of Joe McCarthyism, but this is even way worse than Joe McCarthy. I'm like, because really, it is like skipping to the other side of the table. It's like, whether you think Joe McCarthy was a good anti-communist or bad anti-communist, I think somewhere there he was sincere. He was a monster, but he was sincere. But imagine Joe McCarthy all of a sudden said, "Let me give you the true history of Marxism, the Soviet Union, and the communisms as a communist activist." And it's like, wait, when did Joe McCarthy become a communist activist? I thought he was anti. Well, there we go. Like, when did Nora become an anti-Scientologist at all in the first place? Well, according to some myth makers, and let me name who this person is, Diane Nutcase, 2012. Well, here's a problem. You know, Mike Rinder? He left in 2007. He spoke out in 2009. Claire Headley spoke out before Nora. Mark spoke out before Nora. Rathbun, you go through the list. Tony Ortega. Jesse. Like, this is insane. You just go, Jerry, you just go through the McLaurin, you go through the list. They all spoke out way before Nora. Oh, but Queen Nora spoke out in 2012. Even that's a lie. The issue of, quote, homophobia in Scientology was explored long before Nora. And also, she didn't identify herself as a lesbian. That's another lie. So just the way her fanatical fans are just lying about it, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So Nora literally speaks out when it's safe. When tons of other activists have gone through hell, like cancer, jail, like real trouble, then she speaks out. Really, really. But just to pause and end this one, I'm working on this tribute for Doug Scott Kramer, and I don't even like bringing up Doug's name here because really, I mean, Doug and Nora, I mean, come on, really, it's disgusting. Still, Doug took a while to come out, so that's fine. If Nora wanted to take some time, but when you speak, you should have some substance. And whether you like Doug or don't like Doug, he put in a serious effort. The reason people still watch his videos is he put a lot of effort into educating people. Now, again, maybe he failed, maybe I will fail, but he put an effort in. Nora's barely putting in any effort. This is just a lot of moronic, narcissistic ranting. And when she's challenged about this, saying, "Well, isn't this just another toxic rant? I want the criminals in jail." No, she does not. She had no issue with Aaron being a criminal at all. Aaron was blatantly committing crimes. Nora's like, how can I get involved? How can I help out? Scientology was blatantly committing crimes. She was like, how can I join? Or where can I sign up? This is not a woman who's a truth teller or obsessed with crime and justice. That's just not what she's about. She's just searching for topics, and I guess, yeah, we finished the Rinder era. So now we need a new arrow. We need a new demon to focus on. Claire? Really? Okay. And I mean, it's a cheap trick. Claire's not going to respond. She doesn't care. But really, I mean, it's just silly. I mean, Claire is way better looking, way more intelligent, and has a way less shady past. Because the only thing that Claire is really guilty of, Nora's guilty of the same thing. And Nora's guilty of way worse things. And we'll get into that. So I don't know what she's up to. I mean, maybe she just wants to self destruct. I don't know. But really, I mean, if you're going to challenge Claire Headley, I'm hoping she has something really substantive. But thus far, the substance on her channel is at barely 2%. So I recommend Doug if you want some substantive perspectives on anti-Scientology. Doug didn't always put out good videos, and he made some horrible mistakes, but he tried. He tried.